and you would become part of a growing network of women who are driving climate action and green entrepreneurship across Africa. I would want to say Nigeria, but I've seen so much women from Africa. I've seen people from Kenya. I've seen people from Malawi, and we welcome you, our sisters. We love you, and we welcome you. This program is just not another online program. It is a community. You are free to experience the fullness of this program because it is a true community for women who are leading the reframe in climate action and in green economy. So this is a learning experience. This is the beginning of something bigger for so many of us. I mean, when I decided to join this project as the programs and community manager, I realized that this is one of the things that I've wanted to do over time. I currently work as a sustainability engineer, but pivoting into this and learning so much in whilst developing She Grows Green is so entertaining for me and so worthwhile. So I want you all to also dive deep into the intricacies of climate action, the intricacies of green economy, and learn how you can develop your ideas and build your businesses from the idea stage to anywhere you want to get to. So we have so much packed for today's meeting, so much packed. I don't want to even start speaking because we have so much. We have the facilitators, they are on ground, they are exceptional. When I mean exceptional, they are exceptional. Are you guys excited? They are exceptional women who are going to be teaching you what it means to lead the reframe in climate action and in green economy. But before then, I would like us to have a quick icebreaker activity. I need to see more excitement. I don't know why this group is very dull. I need excitement, please. You people, what's happening? Are we not excited? Yes, we're excited. Please. Okay, so we have a quick icebreaker session, and I want you to imagine that is the year 2040. I need to be sure everyone is here first before I can continue this icebreaker session. You cannot just carry our icebreaker session and go away. Okay, so yes, is it just Afsa and Ifeoluwa? I want people, our Firdaus, Fatima, they are not the only people on this group. Please. Oh, yeah, we are here. Yes, we are here. Please, iPhone, I want you to rename your device to your full name so that I'll be able to ensure your participation in today's meeting. The icebreaker session, imagine is the year 2040 and climate change has continued to affect your community. BBC, CNN, channels, Arise TV, etc. are interviewing you because your work has made significant difference. I'd like to know, what did you build? What problem did you solve? And who benefited from your solution? If BBC, CNN, Arise TV, and channels are interviewing you, I would like to know why, what did you build, and what problem did you solve? And who benefited from your solution? So I need to see answers, 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 answers. Okay, answers. Are we excited? Answers, please. If you would like to unmute your mic and speak, you can just raise your hands. I'll let you speak. I need to hear from you what you think. What's the solution that you think you would have built by then, and the problem you would have solved, and the people that would have benefited from your solutions? I'd like to know.
I'm raising my hands, ma'am.
Okay, Anna Legbede, nice to meet you. Please unmute your mic and speak.
All right, thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. And I'm really glad to be joining this session this evening. Anna Elegbede. I'm joining from Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria. Okay, if I have the opportunity of being interviewed in year 2040, so the problem I will be solving is um the food spoilage, the food wastage, and the problem that rural farmers faced after the after going into a cycle of production and at the end of it is at the end of the circle, they harvest their produce, then they get to the market. The produce are being priced at a ridiculous amount of money because all of them are producing at the same time and they are taking it to the market at the same time. So by 2040, I will have been able to build a system whereby they are connected to off-takers and their produce is not being wasted again. And at the core of it is that they get value for whatever they've planted, for whatever they've suffered for. And the primary people that will be gaining from this are rural farmers. And that's what has been driving me, and that's the reason I joined this Go Green. Thank you.
Amazing, Anna. You guys that do not want to speak and pitch you don't know if I'm an investor. I could take your businesses to an investor. Anna, this is exceptional. We have a very big problem with food safety and food preservation in Nigeria. So if you're able to build a solution around that, you're making it big. We are speaking to the next billionaire on this group. Anna, do you claim it?
Yes, I claim it
Yeah,
and
I
clock
claim it
it.
for you, my sister. Nice to
Thank
meet you,
you.
Anna. Such an
Nice
amazing
to meet you
project. I love
too.
it for you. Yes.
Thank
So,
you.
Victoria Ifelua said, "Yeah, my solution would be reducing agricultural waste as much as possible." Yes, this is a very great idea. During my undergraduate days, one of the projects I did was to reduce agricultural waste. In that, we can use it to produce energy, like waste energy. So, if you're able to like find a way to reduce agricultural waste, this is a very great idea. Even pivot it into producing energy. This is a very great idea. Circular economy, top notch. Victoria, nice one. I'm already seeing some really people are very smart though. Please, that should be small brain now. Okay, so if Deborah Ifeneman said I would have solved the problem of food insecurity and the people who have benefited will be Africa. Amazing, nice idea. Okay, Uma Blessing here said, build a waste management company, solving the problem of dirt littering the environment and eradicating air and water pollution, thereby creating employment to the youth, every member of the community, and even the government benefited. Amazing, exceptional, circular economy to the world. So Afsat said a system that recycles waste so that everyone gets to avoid throwing away waste, but rather treat waste as wealth. Yeah, this is a very great. I like the idea of these women. You women are giving me so much inspiration because circular economy. I was speaking to someone yesterday about circular economy in Nigeria. The few people who are able to like tap into it and actually lead the reframe or be the frontiers of circular economy in Nigeria, they will hit it big. Especially if you are building a business or a solution around it, you will hit it big, like very, very, very solid. So this is really great. I'm enjoying these answers. Fridaus Mohammed here said, first, I will produce climate smart farming practices. This is new, amazing, such as improved irrigation, the use of seeds, of quality seeds, soil, conservation, and farmer training to help increase crop yields despite changing weather conditions. Second, I would provide better food storage by encouraging the use of modern storage facilities, storage bags, and cold storage. I love the idea of a woman who has a laser focused vision. Climate smart agriculture is the future, and if you're able to tap into it, you're making it big. I love your ideas, and I am super pumped to see amazing things come out of these women from this fellowship. I am I am so I am so expectant. I do not I am hoping to see that in the next 20, 10, 5 years, I'm seeing your names on Forbes list as African women changing the narrative, building global development, building groundbreaking things in climate smart agriculture, in waste management, in circular economy. As much as I'm here to learn, I'm here to also pump you. I'm here to gear you up because the next few weeks will be super, super enlightening for you. As someone said earlier, you'll be able to learn, unlearn, and relearn everything you need for your journey to be a Forbes woman. Do you know what that means? To be a Forbes woman. So Maya is so excited about this. I mean, to be a Forbes woman who leads the reframe in climate action and in the green economy. One of the most important policies that are coming out these days is as regards green economy. So I want you women to be able to like sit down during the next few weeks that we'll be having these sessions. We'll start with the session today, and the facilitators are top notch, exceptional women. I have met them, so I can say this. So I want you to sit tight, learn, and take everything you've learned back home to build that future that you want for yourself, that sustainable agriculture that you want for yourself, sustainable development that you want for yourself in Nigeria and in Africa at large. But I'm not even thinking about Africa because we, these women, are Africans and we are going to take the change we've created from Africa and take it to the rest of the world. So I am so excited. I don't think I've introduced myself today. I don't think you people know me. Do you people know me yet? You don't. Oh wow. My name is Mary Ayola. I am the programs and community manager of She Grows Green. And oh, I always said she doesn't. Now you people did not ask. You don't know me, you didn't ask. That's not good. It's not good at all. My name is Mary Ayola. I am the programs and community manager of She Grows Green. I currently work in as a sustainability engineer, and I am so passionate about climate action and everything that it has to bring in business, in policy, in community development, everything. Yeah. Thank you, Afsa. I love you too. That laugh means that you love me. I love you too. Okay, so our next agenda on the list is about SEDA. Okay, so we have an exceptional woman who has come together with a few of us to bring this project to you guys, which is the She Grows Green, which is a project under SEDA initiative. And the founder of SEDA initiative is currently here. I give it up for, yes, I love you, loads. Thank you. I love you too. Give it up for our madam, Miss Oyinda Mola Shinobi, as she'll be taking this remark. Miss Oyinda, are you on call?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Everything very fine. So
We can't hear you, ma.
I'm trying to see, can you see me? Can you hear me? So what about now? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm like not hearing it. Oh,
Okay, I can
great.
see and hear you, ma.
So thank you so
Yes, we can see you and we
much.
can hear you.
Yes,
Uh,
I can see you.
I guess there is network lag. Let me check with my team members if they can. So thank you so much, everyone. I particularly am so excited, and can everyone hear me? I'm seeing unstable connection.
We can hear you now.
Okay. Thank you so much. I think we just work with what we have. So yes, welcome everyone. Welcome to She Grows Green. My name is Oyinda Mola Oshinibi, and I'm the program lead for She Grows Green. And first, I would like to say welcome once again to She Grows Green, and it's been an amazing journey of visioning, ideating, putting a team together, and I'm so grateful for my team, for every single one of them, for Mary, for Sumaya, for Dr. Ife, for Mary. We have like two Marys on that. We have Madonna, we have Sini, we have Blessing. Yes, we have Francis, we have myself on the team as well. And everyone has really been working a lot behind the scenes to put this together. So it's not the work of one person, it's the work of everyone. And it's good. We all are excited to see this come true. So about SEDA, as you know, She Grows Green is a program funded, but who is the parent organization of She Grows Green? So it's SEDA, and it's called SEDA. You have to like say that with a Yoruba tone so you can pronounce it well. But SEDA is short for SEDA Community Development Initiative, and the focus of the community of the initiative is to shape minds, shape futures across Africa. It's literally like you can see gotten from the name SEDA, which is derived from the Yoruba language, and it means to create, to shape, to mold, to form. And you'd agree with me that is what we are doing presently. We are shaping futures, we are shaping societies, we are shaping people for that, better Africa that we all talk about, for that bigger Africa, the Africa that works for its people that we will all talk about. And without further ado, I'll just move to the next thing. Now, let's move to She Grows Green. So, She Grows Green is a SEDA initiative focused on women in climate solutions and the green economy. If you see that there's a lot of blah 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 about climate action, the green economy, the opportunities available, and you'd actually see that that is true because we are in a time where climate action is accelerating, and there's a need for sustainability and for considering the environment in whatever we do, whether you are running a business, you are running a social impact, in whatever you do, there's a need. Just a minute. Sorry about that. In whatever you do, there is a need to consider the environment in whatever you are doing. We are seeing a lot of droughts. We are seeing wildfires. We are seeing deforestation. We are seeing even land become arid, and it's affecting livelihoods. It's affecting the economy. It's affecting the society. And women are not left out because when it comes to women and children are, in fact, one of the people who are at the most receiving end of these issues. And it's only important that women are equipped with the knowledge and skills to turn what looks like a plague into prosperity for them. And this is the reason behind She Grows Green. Women are underrepresented, access to technical skills is limited. Those women even struggle to access finance, and you would all agree with me. There are lots of women empowerment programs, women training programs, but not women finance programs where they actually give you the funds to say, okay, put this in your business, invest this in whatever you are doing, and let it grow, and then you can be the Forbes woman that Mary has been talking about. When you become the Forbes woman, please don't forget us here at She Grows Green and SEDA. Don't forget me, don't forget Mary, don't forget everyone on this call, please. So you can be that, and that is why She Grows Green exists to bridge this gap. And one beautiful thing about this program, as you would see, is that we are not just going to train you, and it's not just going to be virtual. There is going to be a time where we will all come together, even though for those in Ibadan. So you'd see us, we'll see you, you'll see what we've been talking about practically. And if you're not going to be in Ibadan, no worries, everything will be live streamed. And also the I think very, very important part that gets me excited, that sometimes I even wish I was a participant myself, is the mini grants where, of course, you get to pitch your ideas, whether you have an existing business or an idea, you get to pitch. And yes, you get money to invest in that business to grow that business. So welcome everyone once again to She Grows Green. I don't think I should spend too much time on this. By now, you already know what you benefit from this program. You understand climate action, you understand the green economy, you develop technical skills in your chosen learning pathway. So if you're in climate smart agriculture, you have a wonderful experience awaiting you. And if you're in waste upcycling, you have a wonderful experience awaiting you. And I'm excited myself because I also get to learn. I've been looking at learning something. So I get to learn. For instance, don't tell anyone I told you this. It like have a large mechanics fine, the importing and exporting. So who knows? Maybe this is the beginning of the answer to my prayers. So you get to learn out having the skill. You also must know. You must know the business of the skill. You must know who really serves you, but serves your community. So you must know. So you connect with other people. You pitch your ideas, and you have these connections that can serve you for a long time. Now to what you should meet our donors, and this is very important. So I tried as much as I could to get a representative from the Youth Empowerment Fund here, but our time zones were clashing. He's my peer facilitator, and our time zones were clashing. He's like in Western Indonesia, and that's like 7 hours ahead of Nigeria. So right now they are currently midnight. I know we cannot say person should not sleep and come and join the program. So he promised to send a recorded video, and we are expecting that. I thought it would be available today, but it looks like it won't. But I promise you at least you get some form of contact, and you get to see the video. Yes, you get to see the video soon when he records and send to me. So now meet our donors. So thankfully we enjoyed the grace of God, because whether you are here, if you are here, you're a Muslim, you're a Christian, even if you are not, you know that God's grace makes things possible. So first, we enjoyed the grace of God to make this possible, and second, God used the Youth Empowerment Fund for us. They are actually the one who is funding this entire program in its entirety. They are the one who is funding it. So, and it's called the Youth Empowerment Fund, as you can see, and it is a partnership between the European Union and the Global Youth Mobilization. Now, the Global Youth Mobilization is an initiative of the Big Six organizations. They call them the Big Six organizations. If you are very familiar with the development space, you know that there's something called the Big Six organizations. So we have the World Organization of the Scout Movement, we have the World YMCA, we have the World WMCA, which is Young Men Christian Association, we have World WYCA, Young Women Christian Association, World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts. I was actually thinking maybe even May was a girl guide, a girl scout at some point. She's giving that vibe. We have the International Federation of Red Cross, and we have the Red Crescent Societies, and we have the Duke of Edinburgh International Award. So these are our partners, and you can see their logos. And if you check all our flyers, you'll be seeing the logos there, and you'll be seeing that throughout this program. If you're available for the on-site event and you come, you are going to see their logo right there on the banner, very, very large. And so we are very grateful to them for this opportunity to support a youth-led solution, touching the lives of people. Now meet the team. Like I said, one tree doesn't make a forest. Yes. So meet the team. There are people who have been working behind the scenes. Of course, you get to meet everyone at some point, because it's not only Mary who's gonna be moderating or me. So and this is for like 12 weeks. So you get to meet everyone at some point, at one point or the other. So you've met me. My name is Oinda Mola Oshinobi. I'm the program lead. You've met Mary. Mary has been the one moderating, gingering you up, bringing the energy. So you've met Mary. Then you are going to meet Dr. Ifeoluwapo Amao. She's a very brilliant and intelligent doctor. Yeah, she's a doctor. So she has a PhD. You know, one of my aspirations. So you get to meet Dr. Ife. She'll be facilitating the class today. So you get to meet her and you really learn a lot from her session. Then Sumaya and I will go way back into the Open Union sounding board. And Sumaya is a lawyer. See, she's even the one who put this Esquire beside her name. When I said, I was like, I'm a lawyer. She was the one who put it there. Like, if you forgot to Inda, I did not forget. So Sumaya is a barrister. Sorry, she's a barrister, not a lawyer. Then we have Izeni Amedu. I don't know if Izeni is on the call. We have Blessing Gabriel. I'm not sure if she's on the call too, but you get to meet all of these people at one point or the other. We have Madonna, Julius. So Dr. Efes, Sumaya, Uzeni, and Blessing, they are program specialists. They are the one in charge of developing the curriculum, putting together the learning activities, all of these things that you are seeing. They are like the brain, it's like their brainchild. Yeah. Then we have Madonna Julius. You should know Madonna. If you're in agriculture track, Madonna is your community manager. She's the one you've been interacting with. And then Mary is the community manager for the waste upcycling track. So if you're in the waste upcycling group, you've been interacting with Mary. She's the one, sending all the emojis, the energy, and all of that. And we have Francis. I'm not sure if Francis is here, but Francis is working behind the scenes with a lot of his hands. He's helping us to facilitate partnerships. And if you have any idea of partnerships for us, please, we are open. Let us know. As I go ahead, can someone from the team please take screenshots as I speak? Just screenshots and all of it. I think you would need that for some reports and all of that. So yeah, and now I'll soon be done so that I can hand over to the facilitators for today to get to it. Now, please listen to this carefully because I see that many people have been asking questions about what is this, what is that, which is why we have taken our time to explain this. So first, there are two learning pathways. There are two tracks. Climate smart agriculture, where you learn climate resilience, agribusiness, market access, and waste upcycling, where you learn how to transform waste into valuable products. So there are two tracks. So you have to be in one of them. Now, is it possible for you to be in both? No, because for the sake of this program, we want you to concentrate on the track that you are. However, you can get to also enjoy the knowledge and the knowledge from the other class because you can share the recordings with everyone from both tracks later, but that will be later in the program. Then we have the duration. This program runs for 12 weeks. We started today and we are going all the way to September. We have 10 weeks of virtual learning sessions. So you are going to join classes for 10 Saturdays. Yes, and then we have 1 week for facility visits where we will take you to a facility, you will see what they are doing there, you'll have fun, you get to learn. And then we have 1 week for the on-site closing ceremony where we will come together, we are going to have fun as well. We see each other, we'll eat, yes, and then we will pitch. People will interested participants will pitch for the mini grants, and then we'll know who is going home, why are the people going home with our grants. Then we have assessment. Now for monitoring and evaluation and to also help us measure your learning and improve the program, we have a pre and a post session assessment for every class. It is important you fill these assessment forms because they serve as the attendance trackers. So you cannot come and say, I joined, and we did not see that you filled the pre-assessment form or the post-assessment form. That means you're absent. And we take attendance very seriously. You must have at least 80% of attendance to be able to move forward to the next phase. So ensure that we do not joke with this. Like I said, it's fully funded. So we must take it very, very seriously. We are giving reports. There are people watching it, and we cannot afford to sleep off. Now, the learning experience throughout the program, you would have live learning sessions like the one we're having today. There will be group discussions, there will be assignments, there will be reflection exercises, there will be business development activities, there will be interactive quizzes. Of course, there will be giveaways, yes, so that to ginger and encourage you. There will be giveaways, weekly giveaways on the group. There will be networking sessions and some mentor interactions. So we'll pass more information about that. You would be put in groups so that you can collaborate with each other and network with each other better. Then a learning journal. Now we have a learning journal. We just want people who come to class and just, some people while they're in class, then they'll be cooking in the kitchen, then they'll be eating, then they'll be doing all those sort of things because it's a virtual class. And at the end of the day, they just came to mark attendance. No. We want to, everyone will have a learning journal. You will receive a document where after each class, you will think about what you've learned and you will write down your own insights, your own original insights, and what you are going to do with that insight next in that document. So you will write it down every week and we will be monitoring it. You too will have it. So by the end of the learning phase, it's one of the things that we would use to determine that whether you've really been in class and to move you to the next phase. So the link to the learning journal will be shared to your emails later. Then we have a meaning eligibility assessment. After the end of the 10-week virtual learning, you will write a very, very short eligibility assessment, at most 40 questions, very simple, within an hour, just to test all that you've learned. It is very important that you pass it. Now, the pass mark will be based on the average of everybody. So it's not a big deal. The pass mark will be based on what everybody gets. We just do the average of what everybody gets so that very, very many people can pass. And it's important you pass it because it will determine whether you receive the certificate of completion, whether you also participate in the facility visits and on-site closing ceremony. Now, for the next stage, you must meet the attendance requirement. I've already said it's 80%, at least 80%. You must do the assessment, pre and post assessment, you must do it. And you must pass the mini eligibility test. It's not a big deal. It is very, very easy. It's just based on what you've learned. And there will be slides after each class. So you can always go back and see what you've learned. Now, for those in Ibadan, as long as you satisfy all of these requirements, you are welcome to, join us for the facility visits and the on-site activities. If you want to travel down to Ibadan, please, you are going to be the one sponsoring yourself. That is why we said for those in Ibadan, they will be the ones to attend the facility visit and the on-site event. But if you feel like maybe you're in Lagos or you're in Ogun State, or you're in Ogbomoso or those surrounding places and you feel you can travel down, we've had people travel down to our programs in the past from Lagos or from Ogun State. I feel you can travel down, you have a lot to gain. Of course, you are welcome. I mean, it's just within a day, you can come in the morning, go back in the afternoon, but that will be for those close to Ibadan, and you will be sponsoring yourself if you want to do that. But for the facility visits, we will handle the transportation to the facility we are visiting, and then for the on-site event, we will handle the refreshments and everything that may be needed. So you just get yourself to the venue. Now we go to the business pitch. Like you said, there will be mini grants where you get to pitch to us, not us really, because we are not going to be the judge. But you get to pitch your business ideas. Whether you have an existing business, you are welcome. Whether it's an idea, you are welcome. And then, you get to pitch and you get to win. So stay connected. Please follow us across our social media platforms. Engage, like, comment. I think that many people have not followed us. And it's very crucial that you followed us. Why? Because our donors are monitoring our posts. We are obliged to tag them. So, and as we tag them, they are checking. So the more you engage, the more you like, the more you comment, the more you share, they are seeing that, okay, this is an engaging community, this is an engaging program, this is a valuable program. And it actually gives them the impetus to even say, okay, take more money and do more. So you see that it is a win-win situation for us. That is why I'm saying please follow us, stay connected and engage. Now for communication, every program announcement will be communicated via email and the WhatsApp community. Always check those two. We don't want to hear, I didn't know there was a class or I missed the assessment. Always check your WhatsApp group. If you have any questions, tag your community manager on the group and ask them the question, please. Also, check all always check. Please can someone from the team drop this? Someone is asking for like the on the team, drop it, please, so that people can follow right here. Okay. So we would have that. Please check, always check, always check, 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 check. So thank you very much. I've come to the end of my part for this very for today's session. Maybe in the course of the virtual learning experience, we get to meet depending. I might get to moderate another session. I might get to moderate a session or maybe even anchor a class related to my own course. But I wish you all the best. Please enjoy yourself. Make the most of this experience. And however you feel we can support you, let your community managers know. And they will get the information across and we can work. So enjoy yourself, take care of yourself, make the most
Very
of
much.
this, and definitely you hopefully you see me again. And like I said, please, very, very important to note, this program is called She Grows Green. Please, it is for females. If you are a man and you're on the group, kindly leave. If we find you out, we will remove you and we are going to find you out soon. This program is for females, purely females, biological women, purely females, please. Yes, so I'll hand over to Mary at this point and then we go. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, Miss Wing. Thank you for taking them through the expectations for this program. I would like to emphasize on what she just said. If you are a man and you're on this call, leave now. If I find you out, I will chase you away. When we want to empower women, we'll call you. But for now, we're empowering women. So please leave this call if you're a man, and if you're in the group and you are also a man, please make sure you leave this call. Thank you very much. So thank you, Mr. Yin, for taking them through the program subjective and everything that is needed for them to participate adequately for this program. Okay, so we're going straight into the business of the day. And I can assure you that this one is the sweetest. Like the glory of the latter shall be greater than the former, right? Right? Yeah. So I can assure you that this is the thing we've been expecting. The facilitators that are on ground are grounded in climate action and the green economy, and they would open your eyes, they will enlighten you about everything you need to know for this journey to be a smooth ride and for you to be able to sit down and like gather the things that you need for your next season. So we're on the next agenda, which is the foundations of climate action and the green economy. And I'll be handing over to my bosses, the green economy specialists. I'll be handing over to Sumaya and Dr. Ife for their session. Please give it up for them. They're not small people. Ah, Dr. Ife is a doctor. She has a PhD. She is a doctor. And Sumaya is a lawyer, a barista, ESQ. You don't play. Did you hear that? Clock it. So yes. Sumaya, Dr. Ife, the floor is yours. Sumaya, are you on this call?
Yes, I am, Mary. Can you confirm that you can hear me,
All
please?
right. Good evening, Sumaya. Nice to meet you again.
Good evening, Mary. You are hilarious. You crack me up. And I mean, over here, I was clocking it. When you said we should clock it,
Like,
I was clocking it. So,
okay.
yeah. All right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, my core team members. Good evening to the participants. It is very lovely to be among you all today. And thank you for joining us. Thank you for taking the decision to, take this step in your career and in your entrepreneurship journey. It is very commendable. And we assure you that you are going to have like a very wholesome experience throughout this training program. So just like my co-team members have said, Miss Oyinda, Miss Mary, and I also want to reiterate the fact that um, this training ready to take their businesses and their ideas to the next level. So yes, welcome once again. And very briefly, Mary and Oyinda have said a lot about me. And just in addition to that, I am the one of the program specialists for She Grows Green. And it's such a pleasure to be handling this part of the project. And I'm so happy. So far, I have had like the opportunity to pour in my experience from climate change, climate justice advocacy so far, and also my experience in climate policy, climate negotiations, and climate education. So yeah, we'll just delve right into it. And so the first thing that we are taking is the foundation of climate action. We all know that. We all know the climate change program. We do not have to explain to anyone here right now that this is climate change, this is what it is doing, these are the causes, the effects, and all of that. And we also all know that for us to fight the climate crisis, there has to be climate action. And not just climate action, positive climate action. So yes, the fundamentals of climate action. The very first thing we need to know is that for us to take action, for us to take any positive and impactful action, we all have to be educated. And that is where climate education comes in. That is where climate literacy comes in. And that's what we're going to be talking about right now in the next very few minutes. So as you can see on the screen, it says that you cannot act on what you do not understand. Climate education transforms awareness into action. Essentially, this means that climate education, climate literacy, climate awareness is what bridges the gap between the climate crisis and also bridges the gap between climate crisis and climate action. So there's a link there. And the link essentially is climate education. If you're not educated, you cannot take action. And that's what this the very first quote says. If you cannot act on what you do not understand or what you do not know. So now let's go right into what climate education does for us. Why do we even need to educate ourselves? Why do we need to bother ourselves to take training courses, to take short courses, go on fellowships, join webinars, join sessions, conferences, just to learn and educate ourselves on climate change. So yes, back to the very first reason why we need climate education. So climate education builds informed citizens. I've said that all along. And so yeah, essentially it means that to build informed citizens, when you undertake climate education, or when you take on the pursuit to be climate aware, it equips you and I and everyone out there with the knowledge to understand the climate crisis, the climate risks, make sustainable choices, your actions and inactions, the things you're supposed to stop doing, the things that you should do more of, and all of the things that you do that have ripple effects. And, it also helps you to know how to make decision makers accountable. That's what climate education, that's just one of the things that climate education does to you. In addition, as you can see on the screen, climate education or climate literacy, it drives behavioral change, right? And when we talk about driving behavioral change, education, it means that like climate education shifts your mindset, from being perceived, from being very passive, from being nonchalant, from being uneducated. It shifts you from being passive observers to, active participants in climate solutions at, community levels and policy levels. And as well, it's, I'm sorry, just give me a moment. Give me a moment. Yes, apologies. I am back. So back from sorry, I'm picking it up from where I stopped, which is drives like climate education drives behavioral change. And I was essentially saying that, when you're educated, when you're aware about something, it shifts you from being passive observers or from someone who doesn't know anything to someone who is now taking very positive actions on that particular issue. So let's get back to the other point, which is up there just by the right. It says that climate education strengthens policy participation, right? Yes, it strengthens policy participation. So how this happens, or like let me play this out to you. What it essentially means is that when climate literate young people, climate literate youth, when they engage more meaningfully and structurally in the whole, climate crisis and climate change, like I need us to have it at the back of our mind now that climate action is something in progress. It's always in motion. It's not one static thing. It's something that you're always doing. You're doing in your house, another person is doing in her own space, something somewhere is going on in terms of policy, a meeting is going on somewhere in terms of partnership, in terms of funding and all of that. So yeah, when we participate in the whole of that drive, what it does is that it enlightens us, and it's makes us know how to demand effective policies that are going to shape stronger and more inclusive, climate space for everyone. So imagine if you do not know about the climate crisis, or you even know about the climate crisis, but you do not know that there is one policy in one place, or let's even say you know about the policy in your country, you do not know how these policies come about, you do not know how they implement these policies, there is certainly no way that you're going to, participate in the whole of that drive and also contribute to meaningful climate policies. So moving on, I'm just going to brush through the last one before the one in the middle. So it empowers vulnerable communities. What this one does is my personal experience, and I mean for those who are in Lagos right now, for those on the mainland, and those on the island, quite particularly, most people do not know that what is going on, the issue going on is an issue of climate change. So I'm going to use Lagos as an example, like I said. For those living in Lagos right now, for some people, it's just an issue of, they built their lands and they built their houses on water, and so they're seeing the consequences. But the truth about it is that even in developed countries, they are building houses, they're building mansions on water, and nothing is happening, right? And sometimes for some of these places, things are happening. So one of the things that is going on in Lagos Island right now is that sea levels are rising, and then when little rain falls, there is flood everywhere. And so I'm going to move to Lagos mainland now. And this is for someone who doesn't believe in the whole climate change dynamic to what is going on Lagos Island. I've always lived on Lagos mainland. And when we were younger, I remember experiencing very heavy rains, extremely heavy rains. And what happens? It destroys a lot of things. If you have crops in your garden, in your backyard, if you have things that you've planted somewhere, or you have just like one shed that you have built somewhere, around in your compound, what does this heavy rain does? It destroys everything. And we all know, I mean, we would all agree with me when I say that the kind of sun that we used to experience when we were younger is different from the kind of sun that we're experiencing as older people right now, right? If you agree, you can put a thumbs up. And personally, I would agree to that a lot because when I was younger, the sun wasn't this, it wasn't this scorching. It wasn't this much. But right now, it's a lot. And we also all know that in Europe right now, different countries, like a lot of countries in Europe, are going through the heat wave. And every year, the report comes in that it's getting worse every year. It doesn't get better. And in summary, that's just an effect of climate change. So for people who are experiencing climate disasters, people who are experiencing floods and are victims of loss and damage, or people who even have to migrate from where they were living because the places have now become, damaged, they have to migrate to other places. They become migrants, they become internally displaced persons, and sometimes stateless persons because they have to leave the country entirely. But for the people who experience these things, and for you and I who are experiencing extremely scorching sun, heavy rains, very extreme weather conditions. I've lived in the north, and I know when I tell you that things are very different now. The very first time I went to Kano, I remember how very cold it is. But when I went to Kano in 2024, I told everyone that, I mean, I've experienced it before. It's all cold. I'm going to cope. In 2024, I went to Kano, and um, tell me why when I landed at the airport and I stepped out, I ran back inside. I didn't take 2 steps. It was just one step outside of the plane, and I ran back inside because when I landed in Kano, it was very cold. It was during like the cold season. It was super cold. I was with my jumper. I was with the cardigan. I ran back inside, and everyone laughed at me like, it wasn't between embarrassing and funny because I laughed at myself too, and the truth is just from, I think the first time I went to Kano was in 2019 or thereabouts. So the gap between 2019 and 2024, how long is it? It's not up to 10 years already. But I remember the cold I felt when I went to Kano because I had never experienced that before. But going back to Kano in 2024, it was nothing compared to my first experience. And on getting there, all the citizens of Kano, everyone keeps saying that, oh, sorry, all the residents of Kano and in the north, they keep saying that, oh, it's terrible now, it's worse. It's not. You're using 2019 to compare what we're experiencing now. It can never be the same. So now, for you and I, now that we're experiencing all of these things, climate education makes you know that, it makes you identify that this is what you're going through. This is how you can curb it. This is how you can, come with innovative solutions. This is how you can, go about this, go about that. This is how you can, incorporate new habits into your lifestyle to change all of these things. And, that's what we talked about, behavioral change. So I'll be moving on now to the last one, which is in bold. And it is that climate education helps you to, it assists us to come up with, innovative solutions, which is what we are on to right now. And that's why it's just in the middle of the screen. And what this training is about is to advance and build more, to encourage more climate innovative solutions, especially from women. So these are the things that climate education would do. And that is why it is very important that climate education is put and taken and, is put at the center of climate action, and it is treated as such. So now we're moving on to the next fundamental of climate action, which is advocacy, right? So, excuse me, we all know that, we're in 21st century now. We all know that when you're doing something and you're not talking about it, or something is happening and you're not telling anyone about it, it's like what you're doing or what you're going through goes to almost no issue, right? So that is why we all have to know that knowledge without voice changes nothing. If a very good example now, this is not exactly related to climate change, but for example, we all know what's going on in Nigeria right now, the kidnapping and also the vices that are going on. So let's say, for example, these young people, these children, adults alike, are being kidnapped, and no one is saying anything about it. Imagine what's going to happen to these people. Like, just take a moment to imagine. They were kidnapped from their various places. No one said jack about it. Like, no one came online to say this and that happened. Imagine what they'll be going through. Now we're still hoping that these people are alive, like all of them are alive and in the best shape that we can have them. And that's because we know something, and that's because someone said something about it, right? So imagine nothing was said about it. So bring that into climate action as well. When you're going through something, or you're doing something, you're trying to create a solution to the crisis, or to a societal problem or an environmental problem, and you're not saying anything about it, then it goes to no issue. That is where advocacy comes in. So yeah, we all have to know that advocacy bridges the gap between people and policy. Now, let's take, for example, I've said it earlier that like the whole climate action in motion, right? We're doing something. We are here. We're how many on this call? 43 of us are on this call. We're working on a project. We're trying to build something to combat the climate crisis. And this thing that we're building, it is to address the issue we're facing in our own, communities, right? And then our government is also aware that climate change is real. Climate change is affecting people across South, in the North, wherever, all over Nigeria and Africa. They're aware. What's the job of the government? To, provide solutions to all of these social issues. Now, one of the very first things the government of any country would do is to put policies in place, right? But now, we are going through these issues, and it's affecting us in different ways. We all know that climate change affects people disproportionately in different ways. Some people are not experiencing flood, but they're experiencing like extreme weather conditions when it comes to heat. Some people are experiencing cyclones, different things, and all of those things in the different places. And we're not saying anything about it. We're not crying out loud. The government will just do what they can do, They would come up with policies based on what they know, based on what they've heard, based on what they've seen. And we should not forget that those who make up the government are human beings like us, right? So these people are going to come together and they will do whatever they can to the best of their knowledge. But here we are trying to build a solution to a problem that we are facing, and we're not talking about it. Imagine the gap that is going to be there between we the people and the policies that are being made to combat the crisis that we're going through. And also, what advocacy does is that it makes us it gives us the opportunity to hold decision makers accountable. That when you check climate action abroad, like what is going on in other countries, the United States, which is the biggest climate denier of our generation, of our time. I mean, the citizens are still doing very well when it comes to advocacy. So these people coming together, they come together to form a movement, they come together to form, groups, civil society organizations and all that. They come together, and the power of their voices, what does it do? It makes them hold their decision makers accountable for what they are doing that is not helping the climate crisis, and what they are not doing that is not improving the climate crisis. Now, to the third one, it builds coalition for collective action. I've kind of mentioned this earlier, right? So I put this in bold because we're here because this is She Grows Green, this whole entire ecosystem, the team members organizing the training, and yourselves are like the participants that want to, benefit from the training. It's like a coalition, right, for collective action. We're coming together to say that we will not sit down and watch what the climate crisis is doing to us. We're going to come together to, build innovative solutions. We're going to come together to take steps to, contribute our own efforts to the larger climate action, right? And so moving on, it centers marginalized voices as well for people who are going through a lot. I mean, in your own rights, you may not realize that you're marginalized on certain levels. You probably think that when they say marginalized people, they're talking about the northerners or people that are living in rural communities or people that don't have access to internet. Clearly, I mean, first things first, those set of people are marginalized, but you can be marginalized on like different levels. Or let me put that differently. You can be marginalized if you think that you're living because you're living in an urban settlement, you're not marginalized. One way you can be marginalized is if the policy that is in place doesn't address the exact issue that you're going through, or if what you're going through, some other people are not going through it. It makes you a marginalized person. And what advocacy does is that it brings these people together to advocate for one cause. It amplifies their voices, and it takes it to the larger room or to the larger audience. And lastly, advocacy drives legislative and policy change. I've talked about this, like even in the previous slides, how climate education and then advocacy helps to drive legislative and policy change. I believe we all understand that because from advocacy, the governments or those who are in the position of power, the decision makers and policy makers, they hear what you're saying, they hear the issues you're bringing out to the public, and from there, they know how to design solutions. So we are moving on to the next slide right now. We do not have so much time, but I believe that the session has been enjoyable so far. The next thing now is introduction to circular economy, and the very first thing we're talking about is waste upcycling. So next slide, please. Waste upcycling, because that is one of the tracks that we are delivering or that we're offering or that we're working on for this training. So as you can see, or as we all know that there is something called let's start from circular economy. The circular economy. And so when we talk about the circular economy, basically, I'm going to draw a circle around. Like the circular economy, literally, it's just a circle. That's what the circular economy is. It's just a circle. And the idea behind circular economy is whatever is produced or whatever is being used goes through different life cycle, and then it comes back to being useful. That is like if I'm explaining circular economy to a 5-year-old, right? That's how I'm going to put it. No shades, no insults, please. I'm not trying to say 5 years old. I'm just trying to put this to you in the best, like in the most simple form that I can. And that's what circular economy is. And then beautifully in the circular economy, you would see that in the whole life cycle, like in that circle, there are different opportunities for business, different opportunities for working on our economy, for expanding our economy, and for making it better. And that is where upcycling comes in. So upcycling is the process of transforming discarded or waste material, something that you're no longer using, like something that has been that you've used the entire life from it. You're transforming it into new products of higher quality, of higher value, and of higher purpose without breaking them down chemically like traditional recycling, because that's what recycling does. So there's a big difference in upcycling and recycling. Upcycling is different from recycling. It involves the process of breaking down something. Yes, I have a pen here. So let's say I've exhausted the ink of this pen, right? What happens? I dispose it. And so if they're going to recycle this, it would go through the whole process of degrading or turning these things into microchips, like small materials are like mustard seed, because it's going to go into another manufacturing process, right? That's like the whole process of recycling. But when it comes to upcycling doesn't have to go through any factory or industrialization or another manufacturing process. Basically, what you just do is you transform things in creative ways. You use different waste products together to bring something better, something of a higher quality, of higher value. And so, yeah, we have it here that there are differences between recycling and upcycling. First of all, is the process, which I've talked about. Then the second one is the energy use, because when we talk about manufacturing involves us using so much energy, machines, lights, and all of that. But when it comes to upcycling, you do not have to use machines. And it's something like upcycling involves you using your hand mostly, and sometimes using machines. But I'm letting you know that these machines are not heavy duty machines like the machines and factory equipments that you'd have to use for recycling. And like I mentioned earlier, the output value, the value that you get from upcycling is most times much more of higher value than what you get from recycling. Recycling is I've produced something. Now I'm degrading it, turning it into something. I'm degrading it, right? Because it's no longer of any use. And I want to turn it into something else through like a whole manufacturing and industrialization process. You will most likely not be able to get this pen back as a whole. You'll be getting something else. And even if you get this pen back, right, they would have to add, in that process, you'd had like some other raw materials, yes, to get this pen again. And so if you do not add other raw materials, what it means that the value of what is coming out from that recycling process is lesser. And then we have examples as well, examples of recycling. You melt plastic bottles. Like I said earlier, they turn plastics, nylons, and what have you, and glass, they're turning them into microchips, like very, very tiny stuff. When you take sand from the ground, you know that there are still like some things that like some sands that come up as particles, not dust at all. So something like that, you melt, you turn it into microchips. It goes through like different processes. When it comes to upcycling, you're just using a creative process to turn what you have into better things, like ottomans, like planters. A lot of people now do not use pots, like clay pots or something, for their planters anymore. People just go on about get tires, get backtops, get a keg, get a plastic, and use them to plant their different crops. And yeah, that is it about the fundamentals of upcycling, which you'll be learning so much more about in this training. And so I encourage you to not miss any of your classes. I encourage you all to, take this very seriously, because not only will you be getting not only like the grant or the prize at the end is not the only goal. The knowledge you're going to be getting in this process is something that is designed to help you, to help you make your to help you make things better if you already have a business that you're running, to improve the process of your business. And if you only have an idea, then you're definitely getting like a whole insight, a comprehensive insight into how to run your business, how to start it properly, how to run it, what to do, what not to do, where to go, where to source materials from, and all of that. So next slide. For the next slides, we're going to be rounding up now by doing like a group activity. And so once you see the question, what I want you all to do is that we're keypad warriors. So I need us to put our keypad warrior skills into play right now. So what I want us all to do now is that in your chat box, I need you to just type a response. Do not send. Just type it down. Do not send. So when I say go, you send it all at once. I want to receive everyone's responses at once. And I'm trying to avoid, I support the last speaker, or I'm trying to avoid, let me borrow insights from this person. So what we'll do now is we're discussing why upcycling matters for climate action. Tell me just one thing from each person. Tell me one thing that you think that upcycling does, or like the benefits of upcycling, or why you think upcycling matters for climate action, or importance, to put it differently and simply, importance of upcycling for climate action. Now, I'm expecting that we're almost done typing. Just put it in one sentence, not too many words. In one sentence, tell me one thing that you think upcycling does, or what the importance of upcycling is for climate action. I'm going to be prompting us now to go ahead and send it into the chat box. On the count of 3, 2, 1. Let's send in all our messages. I'm expecting like flood of messages, messages to be pouring in the chat box right now. Everyone at once. Lovely, lovely. Thank you. I can see our responses coming in. Thank you very much for participating. I can see our responses. I can see it doesn't undergo the process of industrialization. Okay. Hannah said it turns waste into creative and useful tools or materials. Yes, creative transformation to create value. Thank you, Chizaram. You gave us like 3 different importance: that it reduces waste sent to landfills, which helps lower greenhouse gas emissions. Thumbs up, lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you, Chizaram. I really love that one. And conserves natural resources by reducing the need for new raw materials. Perfect. Thank you so much. And yes, we also have it turns waste into useful products. Of course, yes, that's like the whole essence. Yes, it reduces wastage. Thank you, Hafsa. Thank you so much for participating and for, coming along on this journey, for being attentive. And now I'll be handing over my mic back to the pilot for today, Miss Mary. Thank you all so much. And I hope to see more of you during the course of the program.
All right. Thank you very much, Sumaya. I already knew Sumaya was going to break everything down. Thank you very much, Sumaya. That was an amazing session. Our time is fast spent. I would like us to go to the next agenda, which is, I want you to gather your questions. If you have questions to ask Sumaya, would have like a few minutes for you to be able to ask questions before the end of the program. So I want you to prepare your questions, ask questions. Dr. Ibe is currently here. She will be taking us on the next training, the next training session. A few minutes. Okay, you have to go now.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
We can hear you.
All right, good evening, everyone. It's been nice being here, and I want to appreciate the participants. They're really following, and they gave nice responses to the last session. And I'm seeing that you're full of energy, and then you really want to learn, and then you have some residual knowledge. I can see because questions are coming, answers are just coming back to back, and it's nice. It's nice being in this community. Yeah, I would like to talk about climate smart agriculture. Agriculture is the bedrock of sustenance, and climate can be pulled out of agriculture. So Maya has told us a lot about climate education, and she's almost said it all. But I'm looking at it in the aspect of agriculture. Agriculture remains one of the most important sectors of food security, employment, and economic development, because without food, we cannot survive. Agriculture is the basis of our survival. And however, this sector is threatened by climate change, because climate has to do with temperature, has rainfall, and all the stuff. So that there's no how that climate and agriculture can be set aside. They are all one of they're intertwined, so to speak. And climate change effects are very many. She has mentioned some of them: erratic rainfall, prolonged droughts, flooding, land degradation, emergence of new pests and diseases. Climate change brought so many things into agriculture, so many things that we could say maybe negative, some positive. But overall, it reduces agricultural productivity and threatens rural livelihoods. Climate change has affected agriculture such that farmers say, okay, they are intending to go to field at this time, but no rains. When there are no rains, when there's drought, then farmers have to take caution. Sometimes the farmers go to field, the plants with one rain or two, and they're expecting that the rains will continue. The rain ceases, and then there's a trouble. The crops all die out in the field due to rising temperature, and then there'll be no food. And when there's no food, people go hungry, and then it leads to death finally, because people that don't eat you can't go without food and water before a week or two. So it's intertwined. The agricultural sector cannot be separated from climate change. Climate smart agriculture is a practical approach to addressing the challenges of agriculture that climate change has brought to us. We can't run away from climate change because it is here to stay. I can say we all caused it. Why would I say so? It's been coming over time. Effects of climate has been seen for maybe the past 30 to 40 years, and now it's here on us. So we need climate smart agriculture to address the challenges that we've been facing, and which has increased in previous years. Previous years has been so bad. Before the farmers could say, okay, the rains will come on February 12 every year. However, lately it's not been so. You could think rains will come in February, and in February we're going to go to the field and there's no rain. And then because agriculture in this part of the world is predominantly rain-fed, we await rains to do everything in agriculture most of the time. So farmers can't go to the field, and then we're all like waiting for food. And when they go to farming, eventually, the little food that they're able to produce, everybody runs around, and then the food becomes scarce. And if you don't have money, you can't buy what you want to buy, and all like that. So I'll say climate smart agriculture, like I said earlier, is a practical approach to addressing challenges of agriculture. It promotes practices that sustainably increase productivity. You do things that will help your production to improve, that will help your production to be up to the volume that you want it to be, regardless of conditions around you. It strengthens farmers' resilience. The farmers are able to pull through regardless of the situation of the weather. Climate smart agriculture also provides a flexible framework. It enables us farmers, everyone, whether you have your home gardens, to identify complex context-specific solutions to balance productivity, adaptation, and environmental sustainability. Because for climate smart agriculture, we have to increase our production regardless of how the weather looks like. And since it has come to stay, we have to adapt to the situation. We can't run away from it. It's either we adapt to it, we mitigate the negative challenges, and then we move ahead for us to have environmental sustainability. Excuse me. So this climate smart agriculture virtual training. In this training, because we're talking to women, we're trying to look at vegetable production. Vegetables can be produced by anybody, women, men, but we say vegetable crops are short duration crops. So you could have it at your backyard, you could have a backyard garden, you could just have a little space. We call vegetable crops high value crops. That's little space you can produce much. That's why we're saying this virtual training would bring to you climate smart agriculture, considering vegetable production, which you as a woman can do, will give you so much volume of output of the vegetables you're trying to produce. Next slide, please. This training program would enable you as participants gain practical knowledge, because there'll be facilitators who will talk about it from field to fork, so to speak, from getting the seeds to plant, planting it, what to expect, how to go about it, maintaining your fields, how to sell them, how to sell your produce, and then what do you expect, even after selling your produce? How do you measure your profits and all the likes? So it goes from your farm to the customers out there, and then the profit that comes to you as the farmer in this case. Then climate smart is built to support your continuous learning, because as we have started today, I can see that this group of participants, you are very interactive, and there will be more of such interactive discussions as we proceed in the program, because there will be other facilitators that will come around and they will come together to solve our problems. We facilitate because climate change is all around us. And we have to adapt and we have to mitigate these challenges. We have to find solutions to the problems around us by ourselves, like Sumaya said earlier. Then this training is expected to give you the knowledge and practical skills to understand climate risks, to adopt climate smart farming practices. Little things you could do, how to, when to plant, when not to plant. If you plant and there's drought, what to do. Little things like that, that will make the production up to the stars. And then you have value for your money. Whatever you put into your business, into your farming business, your profit is assured at the end of the day. When you follow all these procedures and lay down rules, and we're going to share them in the course of this program. Generally, because if you do this vegetable production, for instance, I mean,
Okay, so I think Dr. Ife is having a bit of some network issues. So I hope you are preparing your questions. Let's just wait for her a bit before she joins in. So she's currently having some network issues because I could see that her voice was breaking initially. But I want you to get ready. She has been speaking about the climate smart agriculture and how the virtual programs would go forward from now. So I want you to get ready, get your questions ready, because we will be having the questions and answers very soon. In like 3 minutes or 4 minutes, we'll be having the questions and answers. If you have your questions, you can put them on the chat box. But if you want to ask me directly, if you want to unmute your mic and speak, that would be lovely. I would like to hear from you. But in the meantime, I think we can just check for, let me just hear what you're thinking about this program. What's one word you would use to qualify today's meeting? Let me call it the session. What word would you qualify today's session with? I want to see answers in chat box.
Hi, everyone.
Amazing.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, Ma, we can hear you.
Yes, I was talking about the key benefits of climate smart agricultural production. We are here to improve our knowledge and skills on climate smart agricultural production. Number one, this training will help us to increase our crop productivity, because when we know what to do when there's a shift in climate, when there's a climate condition that we didn't expect comes up, then we can produce regardless of the situation of the weather or anything. To contribute to enhance climate resilience, then we can cope with the weather, we can cope with the situation. We'll not say because there's drought, we'll wait until there's water, until there's rain before we produce. We know what to do in the case of drought for our production to continue, so that we'll not have any break in the production, because these breaks in production, pest and disease, and all these things that climate change brings about really affects farmers and then ultimately reduce food production. But when we have the knowledge of climate smart agricultural production, we can do away with all these problems. Then to give us income and better livelihoods, Like I said earlier, our production will not be hindered by what does the weather say or anything. Like the climate, what is the climate like? Because the climate is the temperatures are high, I can't produce. No, when the temperatures are high, you would have been taught what to do, and then you can go ahead and continue our production. Then climate smart agricultural production would also lead to improved food and nutrition security. I said it earlier. Once our food production is not hindered, is not stopped along because of climate change, we can produce food all around the year. That's what climate smart agricultural production enables us to do. It doesn't. You don't depend. Your production doesn't say, okay, it's because it's raining heavily, I can't produce. Because there's no rain, I can't go to the field. No, you'll be taught what to do at every point. And overall, to contribute to sustainable development. Because once there's food, human beings can eat, we can think, and we can do other things. We can move, we can contribute positively to our environment. Thank you very much for this opportunity. And I hope you have learned one or two things in this introductory class to the climate smart agricultural production section of this training. I'll hand it back to Mary Ayola. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ife. This was such an amazing session. And I am super pumped by so much that these women are going to be experiencing in the next few weeks. I'm excited for you. Like I don't have much words. So right now, if you have questions as regards Sumaya's conversations, or you have questions as regards what Dr. Ife has said, I would like you to like unmute your mic, raise your hands, or unmute your mic and let me hear from you. Or if you can put your messages in the chat box, that would be very, very lovely. So let me just hear from you. Okay, someone has been saying it has been wonderful so far, amazing. Like you don't know how pumped I am for the next few weeks and everything that you've been experiencing in these times. If you have questions, we have a few minutes to the end of the program. So if you have questions, just unmute your mic, speak, or you can put your message in the chat box and I'm going to read them out. But in the meantime, I want us to follow the SEDA initiative Instagram account. I also want us to like go to the She Grows Green Instagram account and follow on Instagram, follow SEDA initiative on LinkedIn. That's where you'll be able to see some of the programs, connect to some of these facilitators. Sumaya has been tagged. I have been tagged on LinkedIn on SEDA's page. Dr. Ife has been tagged on LinkedIn. You can follow each and every one of these people and see the amazing things they are doing every step. I also want you to contribute on the group. If we need some data from you, please confirm if you can hear me. If you need some data from you, we need you to submit your pre-assessment. Can you hear me now, please?
Yeah, I think at some point your voice was breaking. But please ask your questions. Please ask away, ask your questions. Can everyone hear me clearly?
Yes, we can hear you.
Great. So if you can, please, can you ask your questions? This is question time. If you have any comments, can you share? So we are waiting. Any questions about what Sumaya has said, about what Dr. Ife has said, or if it's about what I have said? We are waiting to take your question. Yeah, Afsat, please go ahead.
Okay. Thank you very much for such insightful and amazing sessions. I can say I have enjoyed everything said by our wonderful facilitators. My question is to facilitator number one, that is to Ms. Sumaya. Aside agricultural waste, are there what other types of waste can be used for upcycling? Or is it only agricultural waste that can be used? That's my question. Thank you very much.
Okay, are we taking the questions one after the other, or we're making a pool
Yes,
of
yes,
questions?
please.
Okay,
Yes,
very well.
please.
Thank you for the question, Hafsat. And yes, straight to your question. So there are several types of waste that can be used for upcycling and even recycling. I don't know who is in charge, but can you quickly go to the slide, the very first slide on upcycling? You'd see that there are different types of waste, and this is part of the things that you're going to learn during the course of the training. There are textile wastes, there are wastes that are gotten from glass, from paper, from nylon, plastic, cardboard, a lot of things. You can see this image, right? So these are just some of the things that you can get your waste from. I mean, there's tires. When I learned upcycling, we made use of tires, unused tires, abandoned tires that people no longer use and just keep somewhere. They are also waste that you can use. If you look around your community, the honest truth is that you'd find a lot of things that you can upcycle. I mean, outside of all of these things that are here. And when you hear Ottoman, the truth about it now is that the 21st century Ottoman now is made with a combination of different wastes rather than using brand new materials to Make Ottomans. Yeah. And some people make business out of it, like very, very lucrative business out of it. So there's several types of waste. You would definitely learn this during the course of the training. And I do hope you sign up for the waste upcycling track, Hafsa.
Yes, I did that. I did.
Oh, perfect. We will see you there, and you'll be learning more on upcycling and the different types of waste streams that you can get on waste from to upcycle.
Thank you very much for that response. I appreciate
I think we have just a few minutes left. So I'm probably you can hear me. We have 2 minutes left to the end of this program. I don't know if if we can take more minutes, like 2 minutes. If we can take a minute to take pictures, if you can
Okay, I think let's just. Okay, can we have some questions more and just we could do like an extra 5 minutes there about. So there are some questions in the book, in the chat box. Sumaya, can you check about upcycling? I quickly take
all
them.
right.
Then Anna, can you both? She's raising her hand.
Hey, good evening, everyone. I just wanted to find out if I can actually change my field. I mistakenly, when got substitutes, I mistakenly voted for agricultural, for the field of agriculture. But what I wanted to put was actually the waste recycling and upcycling.
Oh, that's fine. You can just speak with your community manager and we'll arrange that later.
There's another question on the chat box. Someone is saying, what role does upcycling play in combating climate change? And what skills are used for someone interested in upcycling?
Sumaya, if we could quickly have the answer to
Maya, are
that
you
so we can
on?
just take them out.
Yes, I am here. To start with, I do not know if your first name or your last name is Mugoli, but Mugoli, we apologize. We do not have any French speakers here because I see that you keep asking for a translation in French. We are using English as the formal language for communication here. But then among the participants, if there's anyone who speaks French, you can please indicate, please do reach out to the community manager and they would let us know in case you need any translation, and would be happy to receive any interest or any expression of interest for someone who would like to translate for you if that would help you learn better. So that's that on that. For the question on what is the importance of upcycling for climate action. So that was the last activity we did before I handed over the mic. And, so many participants did drop in comments the on why upcycling matters for climate action. Please, can someone confirm that I got the question right, or can someone read out the question again? Thank you.
Okay, the question is, what role does upcycling play in combating climate change, and what skills are useful for someone interested in upcycling?
Okay, I'll take it from the first one. Thank you, Mary. What role does upcycling play? It's the same as why upcycling matters. Firstly, it reduces waste in landfills. Landfilling is basically this thing where people do, where you just find like a site and you dump lots of things, lots of waste, and different things, and these things are not they're not being used for any recycling or upcycling. They don't go through any reuse, upcycling, or recycling process. They are just there. But the sad part is, for any waste that you throw on the floor, or that you fill up the land with, they have these gases that they emit. They're called greenhouse gases, methane, and all of that. And this is because these things do not degrade properly. It takes a very long time for them to degrade. So land filling is actually a very bad practice, because in that community, first of all, you are polluting the air. Secondly, the gases that this waste produce, they're not healthy for the environment. So the very first thing is, upcycling helps us to reduce waste in landfills. It's in turn reduces the practice of landfill. When you take your waste and then you upcycle them, and maybe if you want to recycle them as well, but for this training, we're focusing on upcycling. And that's upcycling is like the quickest way to get rid of disposing our waste that can actually still be revived. Secondly, is that it saves energy, right? When you're producing new goods from waste, waste that people use significantly. Sorry, when you're producing new items from waste, it produces, or it makes use of lots of energy, like I explained. The whole process of recycling, the factory manufacturing and industrialization that goes into it makes use of more energy, more heavy duty machines. So, but from recycle, when it comes to upcycling, right, you do not use that much energy. And thirdly, it lowers our carbon footprint. Carbon footprint is calculated by a lot of things. Waste, firstly, how we use a lot of things. And so yes, less production, less factory production, less extraction from the ground or from the earth, less pollution. What upcycling does is that it shrinks the environmental impact of consumption. Instead of, like I said, like circular economy, it's like this circular thing where everything is, in circle, nothing goes to waste, nothing is what's this word? Nothing is not unusable. Even wastes are usable. And then lastly, upcycling creates green livelihood, which is one of the focus of this project. From upcycling, people have businesses, and in turn, it creates like a form of livelihood, a form of sustenance for them. So next is your second question on what skills do people need. The very first thing that I said is education. And when it comes to education, the very first thing is research. You have to research on not just climate change, not just, you have to make research on what you are upcycling, the solution that you're trying to, create, the things that you're trying to build. If you want to turn something to another thing, you have to make research. So you need that research skills. Of course, again, you also need like the advocacy skills. You have to talk to people about what you're doing. Oh, I'm trying to do this and that. I would, appreciate your support. And, if you have plastic waste, you can always bring them to me. I would make use of them and turn them into better things. And of course, you need this like marketing acumen, of course, because you want to make sustenance out of this thing. And so if you're making something and there's no one to buy your product or your items, then of what good is it, right? So I would stop on those three skills: in research, advocacy, and marketing acumen. I hope that answers your question sufficiently. Thank you.
Thank you very much for answering those questions, Maya. I hope that answers your question, Firdaus. So we're at the end of this meeting already, and I am very appreciative of everything Samaya and Dr. Ife have said. In the meantime, please complete the post-assessment form on the chat box, but it will still be sent to your email on the group, so you have to fill the post-assessment form. Please follow SEDA initiative.
Maybe just a minute, please. So the post-assessment form will only be shared here. It's not going to be sent to the group because not everyone attended or to their emails. So please ensure you fill the post-assessment form right now. Right now. After we end the meeting, we are going to close the form. So the post-assessment form will only be shared during the call. So fill the post-assessment form now. Community managers, please tell your members that they should, if they've joined before, maybe network botted them out or something, they should fill the post-assessment form right now. Amida, yes, please go ahead. Let's see. I hope it's not a question because I'm afraid we might not have
Yes,
much time.
yes,
Yes.
good evening, ma.
Yes.
Good evening, ma. Yes, I've already raised the concern on the group that my chat box is not loading, and I've been on this call, on this section from the beginning to the end. So for someone like us too, that the chat box is not loading, we won't be able to actually like access the post-assessment link from the chat box, because since I've been trying to engage, drop some messages, it's not loading. My chat box is not loading since, and I've reached out to Ms. Madonna on the group too.
So what you should do is just take a screenshot that shows that you are in this session. Take a screenshot that shows that you're in this session, send to Madonna or whoever your community manager is that you were in this session and you attended. So she will send you the link to the post-assessment form. Please, for each class, you are filling two forms. Like we already mentioned, the pre-assessment form, which you fill before the session, and the post-assessment form, which you fill after the session. So right now, what we are filling is the post-assessment form to test your knowledge after this class. And the link has been shared in the group. So please get on that right now and fill it. And I think we've come to the end of the program. And this is time we will take pictures. So yes, contact purposes, let's have you. Home guide. Rachel.
Good evening, ma.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, good evening. It's the same problem with I have the same problem which Amida discussed, so I've gotten my answer already. Thank you, ma.
Yeah, it's fine. Like I said, just reach out to whoever your community manager is, whether it's Madonna or Mary. Take a screenshot of this. Just have something that proves that you are on the call, maybe a screenshot or something, and send it to them that you were on the call, but due to network issue or something, you were not able to fill the form, and they will send you the link to the form privately. Yes. So I think maybe you can just wrap up and then get us into the picture session and all.
All right. So we'll be taking the picture. Before we take the pictures, I want to speak about what we need from you. We need 100% attendance. We need you to be attentive in class. We need you to be attentive. Please fill the pre-assessment form and the post-assessment form. I also want you to follow She Grows Green on Instagram. We need you to follow She Grows Green on Instagram. Create your personalized flyers. If you have not done that, share them on your personal platforms on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on WhatsApp. Let people know what we're doing with She Grows Green. And I think it's time for pictures. If you can open your camera, maybe share your video or something. Let's be able to see you and take pictures in a few seconds.
So you heard that, guys. Please put on your videos. And before that, I will just leave you with this. Wangari Maathai, I know you guys know her. She said, "It's the little things citizens do. That's what will make the difference. My little thing is planting trees." So I want to leave you with this question. What's going to be your own little thing? What's going to be the little thing that you are going to be doing that will make a whole lot of difference now and even in future? That's the essence of this session. You have to start your own little thing. And if you're already doing a little thing, please keep at it, and it's definitely going to become big. So let's take pictures. It's been an exciting class. Please let's see everyone. Let me do a gallery view. People are not, I'm not seeing Priscilla, it's not on. Stella, Rachel, I'm not seeing you. Amida, Edith, Oluwashemilore, I'm not seeing you. Asmau, Blessing, Gabriel, Sumaya, I'm not seeing you. Let us see you. Ellen, Precious, Victoria, Stella, Tolulope, Ashanu, I'm not seeing you. Mayowa, Benta, Amida, Moshood, Aishat, Fidausi Mohammed, Alait, Ndao, I'm not seeing you. Let us see you, please. So,
Good evening. I'm sorry, I am not in a well-lit area. That's why I cannot turn on my camera.
please turn on your cameras and okay, let's take the pictures, please. We are taking the pictures now. Ensure your cameras are still on.
I'm sorry, I'm not in a well-lit place to turn on my camera. It's dark here.
Still turn it on like that. Let's see. We are still taking the pictures. Please don't turn off your cameras yet. We have about 8 to go. Turn on your cameras, please.
Where I am is very dark.
Yeah. So maybe I leave the.
Okay, I think we're
Can you
good,
see
right?
me, ma?
Yes, just a bit. Yeah, so we are done with the picture sharing. It's good to see everyone and to have people from even other countries join us as well. So
Okay.
Mary, I hand over the closing to you.
All right. So as Maya said earlier, that you should go home, research, advocacy, that those are the skills you need to build your own green business. Research, you can go home right now, research on the team you want to be, on the track you want to be. If you feel like you chose your track out of already before, research on what you're passionate about, research on if you want to be in upcycling or if you want to be in climate smart agriculture, and utilize everything you're going to be learning from these training sessions to build your own green business. I am looking forward to seeing green businesses come out from this platform and see them doing amazing well in the future. So you can follow us. As I said earlier, please create your personalized flyers, tag us, follow us on Instagram, She Grows Green, and follow SEDA Initiative on LinkedIn. They have tagged the facilitators for today. Go follow them, go check them out. Go. If you have questions, send them to your community managers or in the group chats. We will be happy to hear from you. We are already at the end of this session, and I am super excited to be seeing every one of you today. I look forward to seeing you more. And please fill your post-assessment form.
Mary, please let's wait. Like, so everyone, we are I think done, but yes, the replay would be available, but would wait like 5 minutes on the call extra for anyone to fill their post-assessment form, because once we end this call, we are closing the form, except for those who reach out to their community managers with proof that they were on the call and it was due to network or any other issue that they could not do it. So, but Mary and I, we just stay more for like 10 minutes for you to be able to fill the post-assessment form. So, Mary, over to you.
All right. So thank you everyone for joining us this evening. We will stay on the call for you to be able to fill the post-assessment form. Please don't share this link to your friend. Don't share this link to anyone that was not in this meeting. Everyone should be able to fill, because we'll stay on this meeting for about 5 minutes more. Thank you everyone for joining us this evening. I look forward to seeing more of you and hearing from you in the next sessions. Please avail yourself. You're going to learn so much. You can reach out to Somaya on LinkedIn. You can reach out to her on Instagram, on Facebook if you have questions. You can check SEDA Initiative on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Facebook, and also check She Grows Green, most importantly, because those are the metrics for your participation and your graduation, as it were. So I want you to follow She Grows Green on Instagram. The donors, they will be tracking these things. They need to see these things as one of our progresses. So I want you to follow She Grows Green on Instagram. So it's been exciting moderating this session. My name is Miri Ayola, and I look forward to seeing more and more of you on She Grows Green. Bye, everyone.